Hi, my name is Anirudh, and today we're going to talk about the investor relations agent. So we've built out a lot of these really cool blueprints that can actually help you rapidly prototype workflows and take them live. And the example I'm going to give you today is, let's say you have an entrepreneur that has to send investor updates every month. Imagine you had a lot of agents helping you on the back end as an infra that could automate sending messages, collating all this data, and then even handling conversations. Okay, let's get straight into it. So what you're seeing right now on the screen is essentially a flow diagram of a set of agents and even tools coming together to automate their entire workflow. So what you see on the left is the financial data input. So today, let's say you have data that sits within a member stack, within a Stripe, let's say a HubSpot, different tools, right? So all of those data points that you have, today so you have sometimes like people manually downloading a lot of that into Excel files and then creating balance sheets and tables out of it. Imagine you have a place where you can upload all this data, and then you have a disclosure and reporting agent that validates all this data that's coming through and then converts it into like really nice tables and Excel files that actually have to follow the format from a reporting standpoint. So once that data is created, the output of that goes into a strategic messaging agent, which basically means that the info that's coming in has to be converted to a really nice email that can be shared with your investors. And then obviously the human in loop review. And what's happening today is you have agents and humans actually working in cohesion, right? So it's not completely autonomous. There's always a human in loop review that can kick in so that you can review the content that's going. So the human in loop review kicks in, make sure it's following any of the compliance. And then after the emails can get sent, whether it can be emails, it can be any format or a platform that you're using for distribution. And then finally, when the emails or the info goes out, you can actually have an agent that answers any of the questions on behalf of the entrepreneur. And if there's any crisis in reputation, let's say like there's some info that got leaked, right? Or there's something that went live which shouldn't have, you have an agent that can scrape all the information that's out there, pull that out as alerts and send them to you within this flow. And finally, you have, let's say this info needs to be converted to a deck or any form of collateral that needs to go out publicly. You have a digital content agent that can repurpose that into multiple formats. So what we have done here is we've taken that flow and we've said, okay, what if I could actually add a really nice front end, let's say using a Lovable or a Bolt or Replit, and then have an agent infra layer in the back end powering this whole thing, right? So that's where Lyzr comes in. So to show you this as a quick prototype, this is the flow in front of you. You can have a dashboard that is created, and you can actually essentially share this whole dashboard as well with your investors. And that's what we did for Agent Sam. So I feel like this is super helpful for entrepreneurs who are not just starting off in their journey in the private markets. You know, you're sending out updates once a month, whether you're seed funded, Series A funded, or even you're looking to raise a round, but also for public markets, where all this information has to be sent out and compliance has to be followed. So we have a dashboard, we have an agent workflow, and these are essentially showing you the runs. So what the run does is it gets the info from different tools and populates it here and shows it to you as well. Financial data input is where you can import the data in the form of Excel, in the form of databases, in the form of APIs, and all the reporting is actually shown up here. And because we have a one place kind of platform where it captures all this info, you have also messages that go out from here, inputs that come into here, and you also have templates that you can use on the fly for sending out these messages. And then finally, compliance regulatory is following those specific steps. If there's any form of engagement that needs to be done, and similarly, if you have crisis management, anything that is from a monitoring standpoint and what the sentiment score of your brand is, which I think is pretty cool. And then you can generate this whole thing as a report and download it as an Excel. Cool. So that's essentially the example of the blueprint that we created for an investor relations agent. Hope that was really helpful. So if you wanted to build something out like this internally for you and customize this using your data and your tools, definitely reach out to us at Lyzr and help you get agentic end to end.
Build safe and responsible agents. Introducing Lyzr.